I resisted the idea that I contributed to the end of our relationship for so long because I felt like it in some way made me responsible for the way that it ended. And because I didn't want it to end, and that's not what I wanted, I've never ignored the fact that I'm the one that instigated the conversation, but it was not a mutual decision. And I found those two things really conflicting in my mind. Lots of people have told me in my real life and on here that I should be proud that I initiated that conversation because it showed a lot of strength, but I couldn't put those things together for a really long time. Obviously, I did instigate the conversation. I was hoping it would go another way, but I always knew there was a chance it wouldn't. That's why I've talked about the standing on the edge of a cliff theory, or the feeling that I had. But I didn't want to take ownership of that final conversation because it wasn't what I wanted. And it's taken me a really long time to come around to the fact that I can own it without being the person who wanted it to go in that direction. Don't know if that makes sense. Because I know it showed a lot of strength, but I have never felt so weak in my life. So the fact that it's lovely, people are trying to encourage me like, no, you had more strength than you realise, because I felt so much and still feel so much guilt about not getting my eldest daughter out of that situation sooner. And people have tried to say, no, you did get her out of it because you had that conversation. That shows so much strength. I've never felt weaker, more vulnerable, less capable of strength than I did in that particular moment and the moments around it. So the fact that people are using that word for me or with me in that time, difficult to absorb that. I wouldn't say that about another woman though. And isn't it weird that we won't say it about ourselves? But I'm becoming more comfortable with the reality that I did have the strength to do it. I felt like I didn't have a choice and I felt pushed into it, but I still did it. And so that did lead to the downfall, whilst also maintaining that it wasn't a mutual decision and it wasn't what I wanted. Just none of it is clear. All of it is messy.